Buenos dias. How are you, Anna and Luis? How are you guys?
Hi, thank
You're
you.
well.
Magandang
Thank you.
umaga.
Thank you.
Yes, and good morning to all the people watching on the live stream in Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and of course our friends from Kumu. Thank you for watching, and we have a very special discussion today about Cine Europa. This is your chance to travel around Europe through the films, through the different films. So Anna and Luis are representative from. So Anna is from European Union delegation, and Luis is First Secretary of Embassy of Spain. We'll talk about what is this Cine Europa 24 and how you guys can enjoy it. It's actually starting, it started, correct? It already
Yeah,
started?
yeah, started yesterday.
It started yesterday. And so please join us if you have any questions, and please share this to all the film buffs out there, or you can watch them for free the whole September. So make sure to forward this video to people who would like to watch this. So my name is Anton Diaz, founder of Our Awesome Planet. We're awesome live chat with Cine Europa 24. Can you do a short film? All right. Good morning. So maybe let's start with an introduction, Anna, and then Luis, and then if you can talk about how the story of Cine Europa, how did it start?
Well, I'm quite new in Manila. I just arrived 1 month ago, so I'm not a historical of this festival, but this is something that the EU delegation with our member states in Manila has been organizing this year for 24 years. So I think it's a bit of a cultural institution here in the Philippines, and very much expected by many people. Obviously, last year we had to switch to a different format because of the COVID pandemic. So it's the second time we are organizing this online, following a bit the same formula that we had in the past. In the past, with our movies, we were touring the whole country basically, with presence in 11 different provinces in the three main regions, and also we reached an audience of around 50,000 people every time. So that was very good. Last year we had to switch to a different format. We tried to reproduce a bit the feeling of going to a cinema. So you need to register. We have limited tickets. Let's say they are still free as always, but you need to register, and then you choose the movie, and then you have to be there at the scheduled time. So it's a bit like in the cinema. Uh, in the second part of the month, we will have a bit more free streaming, where all who were registered, all those who have registered, can just watch movies any time of the day or night at their choice. But the first part is a bit like going to a cinema, and we hope it will be enjoyed by everyone. Our main criteria is to entertain and also to bring the diversity of European culture to the Filipino public.
Luis, yes.
Yes, Anton, thank you very much for having me here and to have the opportunity to talk a little bit as well about the Spanish film. No? And as you said, the pandemic is sort of has been constraining and making more difficult to travel. So we thought that for Cine Europa, for this edition, to choose a very interesting film, that it could be a thriller and a mystery, but at the same time to discover something unknown or unusual about one of the most important and relevant piece of art, not only for Spanish painting, but even for the in the history of art, no, which is the Meninas, no. So yes, I've been here for a year. I'm head of the cultural department here at the Embassy of Spain, and thank you for having me, and to have the opportunity that perhaps that we can comment a little bit more later on the film, no? On the Spanish film.
All right. Let's watch the trailer, and then let's talk about the different films. All right. So everybody can watch it in cinemaeuropaph.com. So first question, what are the general themes of we have 17 films from 15 EU member states. So which means this does not include British films, correct? So what are the different themes for this year's Cine Europa 24?
Well, yeah, we have a big diversity of movies. Um, I could not say it's monothematic. You have a bit of all genres. You have comedies, you have terror, you have historical movies, you have more intimate films. So I think it's a big diversity, so that everyone in the Philippines can find something to their taste, something that they
Uh-huh.
can enjoy. Of course, there are some movies that have more of social, environmental message, human rights message. You can see some of them. Some of them give voice to people that usually are not so present in public life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, for instance, of catwalk. So um, where it gives voice to those with some disability. So I think it's very diverse, as you can see. And quality is also a main point in our selection. So I think these are all very good things.
Okay. The films will be in their native language with I get of course with English subtitles, correct?
Yeah,
So I know I have to ask this. I need to ask. What are the films out of these 17 that you guys are excited for Filipinos to watch? I know the Spanish film because a lot of Filipinos actually would go to when they go to Spain, they'll watch that painting. So they'll go and check out that painting. So it will be interesting to know the story behind it. But aside from that, what out of the 17 what are the films that we should Filipinos should really watch out for? Luis, let's go for Luis. Aside from Spain, of course.
Yeah, I will give you some words on the painting, no? On the film. So basically, the title is the painting. Which painting? It's Las Meninas. You know, Las
Last
Meninas. It's
Meninas, yeah.
the translation is like the maid of honor or the lady in waiting, which is basically referring to the royal palace in the 17th century as a normal day. No? But the thing that is very striking is even though that at that period of time it was very common for king and queens to have a portrait,
Mm-hmm.
of the reign at that time. What we perceive in the painting is that we are not seeing the king and the queen themselves. What we are seeing is basically Velázquez himself, the painter,
Yes.
and the maid of honors, no, lady in waitings. So it's
Yeah.
basically you get struck by that sort of what you perceive, because you expect the king and the queen and you don't see them. What you see is a normal day there. You know that, for example, is the Velázquez is painting the king and the queen because we see their image in the mirror, no? On the very
Uh-huh.
back.
Yes, in the
So
mirror.
basically, it's a fascinating painting that you say that many questions pop up, no? Like, why did Velázquez do in that way? Why we as spectators are supposed to be next to the king and the queen, and we are seeing a normal day in the royal palace, no? So many questions come to the spectators, no? And basically, what we have here is Andrés Sanz, the director, wanted to have this sort of feeling again, no? So basically, we see the film that is basically peeping through a keyhole, and
Yeah.
we feel the same sort of experience that you are watching the mystery of this sort of painting, no? So basically, the spectator becomes a detective, and it tries to resolve all these intriguing questions that pop up, no? Of
Is this
why.
a true story or more editorial perspective?
Well, it's sort of it's an interesting genre because it's a mystery documentary thriller. No, that is to say, it's
Ah,
basically in the genre of a
nice.
documentary. The idea is basically to raise awareness of this very interesting painting, to get people familiarized with, but at the same time to have fun. No, I mean, it's not to see a normal documentary that you have plenty of information. No, you want to feel a detective and to try to discover all these intriguing questions that comes in everyone's head when sees the painting.
Yeah. And the painting is in Madrid, right? In
Yes,
oh,
the painting is at the Museo
museum
del
in
Prado. You know,
the Prada,
it's,
di ba? Oh,
it's at the
yes.
Prado Museum, as you said. Many Filipino students that when they come, they go to the Prado, and it's very interesting because the painting is pretty big and it sort of have the whole room, and you are catched by
But
the
yeah.
feeling of the painting. No?
Is that the most famous Spanish painting, like the Mona
Well,
Lisa in or
it's one of the kind, no? I mean, Velázquez, I think definitely, if you take it into a period of time, it was the breaking through. I mean, no one thought of painting a paint in the other way around. That is to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
not seeing the king and the queen, but what they were supposed to be seeing
yeah.
and watching, no?
Yeah, they're ahead of their time. Now, behind the scenes are very popular in
Yeah,
social
exactly.
media. But probably during that time, that's something else.
Exactly. So the good thing with the film is that we can feel that sort of situation or feeling that when we are watching the painting. No? When you are in the Prado and you have that sort of feeling that comes into your head, and when you see now the film and peeping through the keyhole, you feel it like you are invading an intimate moment, no,
Yeah.
of every day in the Royal Palace. So it's highly recommendable to
Okay.
watch it.
What else? What else? What other films can you guys? Actually, I'm interested with. There's a lot of themes. No, you have the like that mermaid uh, story about the mermaid. What do you guys like, or what would you guys recommend? Anna, do you
Well,
have a
I,
suggestion?
I'm this is a difficult question for me because of course we have organized the film festival, so it's like when you have children, you cannot choose one
You cannot
favorite
choose.
among themselves. You have to love them all.
But what's your
And
entry for
also,
your country? What's the entry for your country?
well, I'm Spanish by nationality, but
You're
I'm an
Spanish
EU
also.
official for 20. Like in my case, I like more comedy than terror, but some people may like the other way around. So I won't do any recommendation. Of course, yesterday I watched The Owners. I must say I haven't watched any of the movies yet because I just arrived, so the selection was already done. But I watched The Owners, the Czech movie, like anyone else, and I found it very enjoyable. And I'm looking forward to watching them all in the coming days.
Okay. All right. And this is really just a festival, right? It's not a competition among the European, correct?
Yeah, it's a festival, but I must underline that the movies are very recent and they are still in the commercial circuit. I think the oldest movie is from 2018, but generally they are current movies. Some of them have won awards, like another co-production, a Spanish movie, Okay Arde, won the jury prize award in Cannes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they
Yeah.
are awarded films.
All of them are awarded films. And this is the reason it's 24. It's the 24th year, correct? Of
Yeah,
Cine Europa.
yeah, we have
Uh,
silver anniversary next year.
yeah. And so and um what do you call this, so how did I'm sure all of our streaming now, watching movies streaming, but what's happening in the film scene in Europe right now? Is that starting to get back again? Are there new films talking about the pandemic also, and what to watch out for in the next few years?
I don't know if Luis wants to reply.
Yeah, I
Luis?
mean, Well, I think in Europe, like here in the Philippines and everywhere, the industry is just trying to adapt to the new challenges. No, and I mean we are in a stage where they have to find a balance between keeping all the health protocol and security and try to keep the alive and the energy of the cultural section, no, of the culture and cinema production. In the case of Spain, we are slowly going back to the cinema and to the production. There had been as well for the last year quite a lot of financial aid for the sector to try to keep it alive and to try not to lose the momentum. No, and I think they are now in the shooting stage, and many of them will definitely have the pandemic and the impact that it have in many of us. No, but it's a good news that slowly we are going back to the cinema and to try to to go back and join these films that are very interesting of watching indeed.
Mm-hmm. Just a quick question, because most Filipinos are familiar with the U.S. Type of movies. What's usually the difference with European films?
Well, for me, the difference I perceive more is that European movies are less about action and more about introspection and exploring the characters and the dialogues and the message. So I think in Europe it's not about special effects or action so much as in American movies. So it's different. I don't know why. It may also be related to the budget that can be put into making these movies, and probably character movies a bit cheaper than than big space movies or things like that. But yeah, that's from my point of view. That's one of the main differences. Of course, in the American movies, you also have more niche movies. It's not all the same big productions. But
Uh-huh. But I guess a lot of people follow Spanish films, no? Or what do you think, Luis?
Yes, yes, definitely, and a lot of series, no, as
Yeah, a lot
probably
of series.
one of the hits, the Money Heist, no, has been a
Yeah.
very big thing, no, for series now are becoming very popular. So it's, I would say that perhaps going back to your question, comparing the European cinema with the American one, I think the European cinema is a very good example of the diversity of all our states and countries, and we focus very much on stories, and try to focus on good stories, that catches the viewer, and to try to bring it to the different countries where the movies are shooted. No, so it's a good way that now in the pandemic to have the opportunity to travel virtually to our different countries, and to try to see things from a different perspective. No?
All right. I'm so excited to watch all the movies. Thank you so much, Anna and Luis, for sharing. Maybe some final message, and please invite them to watch Cine Europa 24.
yeah, well, um, while we are in a very gloomy situation, we hope with Cine Europa to bring a bit of entertainment and joy to everyone's houses. So please register in our webpage and enjoy the movies.
Thank you very much, Anton. Just to let you know that you will be able to watch painting today at 7 o'clock. And if you don't have the opportunity or you have other engagement, you will have a second chance on September the 10th at 4 o'clock. Don't miss it, and try to discover the great mystery behind the painting.
All right. Thank you so much, and we'll watch them. And thank you for bringing them here in Manila. We're so excited. Again, I really want to. I'm recently really watching, different types of movies, and just with the lineup, it's really quite interesting. It's like traveling to Europe, while you're at home. Thank you so much, and
Thank
maraming
you.
salamat, guys. If throughout this month of September, check it out. Make sure to check out the schedule, because although it's free, you have to register to watch it. It's like going to a cinema. There's a schedule. So please check it out. Thank you, Anna, and Luis. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Salamat po.
Maraming
Thank you,
salamat.
Anton.
Salamat. Maraming
Thank you.
salamat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you do a short